Hi everyone, this is Mr Neel Raithatha, also known as the Wax Whisperer. Thank you for joining me in my latest video. This is of a patient who attended with really severely blocked earwax in both ears, and we're just commencing with their left ear. There's several challenges in this particular case, the main one being the narrowness of their ear canal. And I'm just using the standard Zollner suction probe, and it was more the entrance of the ear, and because of the narrowness, it was a bit difficult to manipulate the suction probe and also the endoscope simultaneously within the ear, but we did manage. And you can see the consistency of this wax is quite sticky. And what I'm trying to do here is just peel it away from the sides of the ear canal wall. So we managed to peel it away from the back part of the ear there. And in a moment now I'm going to go to the front part of the ear canal. And I'm just using this gentle rocking motion. You can see I've got a suction grip when I'm going left to right, up and down. I'm just trying to tease this and manipulate it out of the ear. Now, for a really small ear, this ear was really packed with wax. So I took a big lump out there and I thought, okay, just one more piece of wax, which is a bit deeper in the ear. You can see it was a bit of a challenge even squeezing the suction probe in there because of the narrowness. So you'd be surprised how many times I go in and out of the ear just removing wax, and it was almost like the never-ending ear. The ear that kept giving this one was. And you can just see the eardrum just to the back, around 3 o'clock, just to the right of the sucker right now. That's the tinge, just the tinge of the eardrum. That's the posterior, the back part of the eardrum. And if you look at the ear canal at the bottom, it rises and then it dips back down again. So when it rises, at the peak of the rise, we call that the isthmus. That's the narrowing of the ear canal, about 0.5 centimetre away from the eardrum. And at that peak, just like a mountain peak, the ear canal then drops, and that creates a little basin, a little trench. We call it the inferior recess, and we've got wax trapped there. And also here, the anterior recess where I was working on there. So again, I managed to remove quite a significant piece of wax, and I thought, well, that's all of it. But you go back in, and the wax just kept appearing. Every time I was removing it, I thought it was the last piece. And same with the end there. I thought when I remove this, it'll all come away in one piece, but it didn't. So we can see probably half of the eardrum now. And I think I'm going to revert to a fine end suction probe, just so I've got a bit more manoeuvrability. I needed the power of the standard Zollner suction probe, but I was lacking with the manoeuvrability, and I wanted to go to the front part of the ear and also to the roof to remove this remaining piece of wax. Now, they have been suffering from earwax. You can tell by the colour, it's quite dark, it's oxidised. Freshly secreted wax is more of a light yellow, browny appearance, and as the wax matures and ages, it oxidizes and it gets darker and darker, and in some cases the wax can turn almost pitch black. So again, I'm just trying to go to the front part. Now, when I'm trying to lift this away from the front part of the ear canal, I'm trying to detach it because it's stuck. We've got to be careful not to push this wax against the eardrum, because the wax is already on the eardrum and any more pressure will be uncomfortable for the patient. So I'm just being as delicate as I can. And this is with clinical ear care, sometimes you just have to come back out, reevaluate, and go back in and just steady yourself almost. So I just want to get a light suction grip. I don't want to push too hard, and I'm going to go from left to right, trying to detach it from the front part of the ear canal. There we are. I've just managed to tease it away, and now I'm going to extract it. And you'll see the wax here has taken the shape of the ear canal. It's come a semicircular, so it was almost like a little mould impression of the front part of the ear canal. So they have got quite a narrowing of the ear canal, an isthmus, and then they've got quite a widening beyond that. And because the wax was trapped in that widened part of the ear canal towards the eardrum, I was having to bring it through the narrow part of the ear canal, the isthmus, which is always difficult. Now, this is their right ear. They didn't actually know they had earwax in this ear until I, of course, showed them on the screen. But they noticed that the right ear wasn't great only after I removed the wax from the left ear, because the left ear was significantly worse. In comparison, the right ear was so much better. The patient thought that the right ear was normal, but As soon as I finished the procedure in the left ear, they noticed immediately that they're not hearing so well from the right ear. So we've got the same challenges here. Very narrow ear canal, very circular. So most people's ear canals are oval in shape. The height is, I wouldn't say double that of the width, but not far off. So the average height of the ear canal, you could argue, is between 0.8 and 1 millimeter in thickness, in length, and the width is around 0.5 to 0.7. So the height is normally significantly greater than the width. So that's what gives the ear canal its oval shape. But in this particular patient, it's very spherical, very round. The height and the width were very similar. Now, this again is you'll see if you continue to watch the entire video, you'll see the last part of the ear canal, the deep part, the medial part. There's a protrusion of the front part of the ear canal, the anterior canal wall, and behind that protrusion, the wax was trapped, which made it really difficult to remove. And it's a bit more crusty and dry. It's a bit more rough in consistency as well. You can see there's a few hairs matted there, and that can be uncomfortable sometimes when we extract for the patient, because the wax rubs, the surface of the wax rubs against the canal wall, and when it does, it can sometimes just be slightly uncomfortable for the patient. So you can see I've managed to bring this wax plug forwards, and it's halfway down the ear canal, but because it's so dry, it's very difficult to get a suction grip, and every time I'm trying to get a suction grip, I'm pushing it further in. So I've just put a squirt of oil in there just to see if I can just soften it a little bit, just on the surface, so I can bring it forwards. But you may be able to see on the right hand side, the wax plug is rubbing against the ear canal wall. It's still a bit of friction there, a bit of resistance. So I think in a moment I'm going to use some forceps. Now, although the forceps didn't remove the wax plug, it did bring it forwards and out of that narrowing, and then I then reverted to an ear hook to finish off the job. So when I'm using the sucker, if I push in any harder with the sucker, I'm more than likely to push this wax plug back deep into the ear. So we want to avoid that. So I'm just using the forceps now. The forceps only just fit, so I was very limited for space here. And okay, the forceps didn't bring it out the ear, but it's right near the entrance now. So I'm going to use a hook. I'm going to go to the top of the ear canal, and I'm just going to slowly bring this forwards. You can see I'm just flicking it forwards almost. Then I'm going to go back in, flick it again. Now I just want to go in and behind the plug. It was extremely hard as well, this plug. After the procedure, I dropped it on the medical trolley. You can hear a really loud ping. It's almost like a bullet in appearance as well. I have got some still images at the end of the video, so if you want to see what the wax looked like, I've put it up against the tip of a pen to give it some perspective and size. This is the last piece. Now, if you remember before, I mentioned about the ear canal, the front part of the ear canal. We're going to go back in. You'll see the protrusion to the right-hand side. It really comes forward. You may see it on the right there. And then the eardrum is almost hidden, the front part behind that. And so was the wax. The wax was trapped there, which made it difficult to remove. So there are all the wax plugs. They look like little pellets, some darker than others. So the darker bits are the wax that's been there for longer. They're very round in shape. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys, and you're taking care of yourselves. Do stay tuned. I've got loads more videos to upload in due course. Thank you. Bye.